Hi, everybody. Are you ready for some quiet time, some art thinking, and a story? Along with Miss Macy here. She's ready. She's really quiet and she's kind of resting, but she's going to listen and she's going to look while I read the story and show you some artwork. There's Macy. Hi there. Say hello. She doesn't speak because she's a very quiet girl, but she's a happy girl. So anyway, I wanted to show you some work that I have here where I'm sitting on the floor. We're going to be doing something that's called a still life. And these are inspired by the things that we have around our house, specifically meals. And when you sit down at your table tonight or this afternoon and prepare your food, oh, Macy says I'm going down. There she is. Oh, she's so tired. I want you to think about how things are arranged. Where did your mom place your plate? Where did she put your fork and spoon? What is actually on your plate and on the bowls at your table? Do you have a tablecloth? And you can even notice on some of these, you can see the wall and the table. Oh, this one's sideways. Let's turn it around so you can see it. So this one's a work in progress. I had planned my drawing and I colored blocked. Some of you remember that language. And then I started to paint. And once I got the spaces filled in, then I started adding patterns. Do you remember what the word patterns mean? And this is, oh, let's see what's on this page. This one is almost finished. What do you think this is? That's right, it's a bowl of rice and a cup of tea. So today's story, so this is hopefully going to get you started, and these are all influenced by Asia, where I lived before I moved to China. There's Macy, and she says, oh, please, 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 put the book out so we can see the book. And today's book that we're going to look at is by a woman named Roseanne Tang and Grace Lynn. Now I know Grace Lynn, she's an illustrator, and she is a friend of mine, and she actually works in San Francisco, but she travels all over the world sharing her stories, and this is called Round as a Mooncake. I wonder if you know what a mooncake is. Anybody know what a mooncake is? A mooncake is kind of like a cupcake, and it has a filling on the inside. Sometimes the filling is sweet, sometimes it's not sweet. Sometimes it's beans, and sometimes it's like a custard, which is kind of like a cream. But the book is called Round as a Mooncake, a book of shapes. Now, you can see some shapes right on this page. The funny thing is, it talks a lot about shapes, but actually the other key thing that you'll see throughout the entire book are patterns. And I want you to just identify what patterns you see as I read the story. Now, is everybody ready for the story? Great. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Now, this is the front inside cover, and what's wonderful about this is just a painting that she did, and she turned that into the inside cover of her book. There's no words. There's no story. It's just repeated patterns. What is that pattern? That's right. It's a circle with a flower inside of it. There's some flowers. There's some flowers. And some swirls. Lots of swirls. Let's see. Macy is over there looking. Now this book was given to me by some friends of mine, which is so nice. Here we go. Round as a mooncake, round as the moon. Round are the lanterns outside my room. What shapes do you notice? I see. What shape is that? Circles. And do you see them repeated throughout the whole page? Well, guess what that means? They're patterns. She's even holding something that's round, like a circle. Round is a pebble that I found. A bowl of goldfish that makes no sound. I used to have goldfish, and they would make this sound. Whoop, 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 whoop. And what shapes do you see? The body of the fish is kind of like an oval. And then what shape is that? Going back to that, oh my goodness, that shape is everywhere. Look at that. Everywhere. And then look at these lines. What are they? Swirls. Oops. And look, more circles. Wonderful. Round are the rice bowls in our house. Round are the eyes of my curious mouse. What do you eat on? Do you eat on plates or do you eat on bowls? Do you eat from a basket? What do you normally eat on in your house? Remember in the art room where we had all of those beautiful ceramic cups? Those blue ceramic cups, those were made out of clay. Does anybody know what these are? These long lines here? Those are chopsticks, kind of like a fork or a spoon. Now, what shape do you see that are the rice? It's an oval, that's right, correct. Round is a ball that spins and twirls in the happy faces of boys and girls. Oh, look at that Chinese lion. The Chinese lion is actually a little dog, believe it or not, called a Pekingese. And you'll notice right in his mouth is a little ball, because the Pekingese love to play with their little ball. But they're fierce. They're not going to let any strange creatures into their house. Round are cups of jasmine tea at a table beneath a tree. What other round things do you see? Ooh, so many. Can you count them? Oh, it's almost too many to count. Wow. Square is a checkerboard in the park. Square is my name, Chops, with the inky marks. Oh my goodness, I wish I had my chops sitting out. I could show you, I'll pull them out later. But it's kind of like a stamp, and we know how to use stamps all the time, but they call them chops. And they usually carve out a symbol that is your name. Wonderful. Oh my goodness. Square are tofu and radish cakes. Square are the sweets the baker makes. Oh my goodness, there's square cupcakes. Look at these marshmallows. And then over here, those are the radish cakes. They never were my thing, but I actually started to really like them. Square is the box that pizza comes in and dim sum made by Mrs. Chin. Wow. Square is the basket where kittens sleep. Square is a box for secrets I keep. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Square is a window with a view. Square is my room and my family's house too. Huh. I can name more square things, can you? Oh, I see square windows. I see square, oh, where? Oh, where? Oh, yes, more square windows. I see squares on top of the roof line. On the wall of the house down at the bottom. Oh my goodness. Rectangles. Oh boy, do I like a rectangle. Rectangles are inking stones, paintbrush racks, and mobile phones. Look at that. Oh my goodness. She's painting over here. Popo's favorite Chinese lace. A very special pencil case. Because the pencil case is rectangular. Her earrings are rectangular. Rectangles are sacks of rice and abacus to tell the price. That's an abacus right there. And you would move these and it would help you to count and to get a total. So how many and how much? A puppet stage and homemade tickets. Rectangles are home for crickets. Look at that. She's got a little box of crickets. In Asia, they would raise the crickets, and sometimes they would raise them to fight. I don't like fighting, but I do like crickets. But I'm not going to eat one. Some people do eat them. Lucky money on a tree. Envelopes for you and me. Yes, they're rectangles too. There's a certain time of the year where people would pass out the lucky money envelopes. Oh my gosh, special time of the year. Look at all of these patterns everywhere. So many patterns. Rectangles are books for fun, a bed to sleep in when the day is done. Can you name another one? Ooh, the blanket maybe. The end. An abacus is a traditional Chinese calculator, and it uses the beads to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Inking stones, they're flat stones that they use for grinding up and making ink and then painting with. Mooncakes, oh my goodness, they're wonderful little treats. Crickets, they're grasshoppers, and they keep them as pets for good luck. And that's the end of the story.